The following podcast is being brought to you by the Defy Life Podcast.
Welcome to the Defy Life Podcast. I'm your host, J.R. Glenn. That is Thomas Stevens. What's good, Poop?
What's good, man? Ain't nothing. Just getting how I live. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Another Defy Life Thursday this time. Um, we're getting over the draft and
Yeah,
back to the real world.
right.
Yeah, man. Before we get started, I want to give a shout out to Al and his family.
Right.
Um, we always say life be lifing, but life is really lifing. So we're going to shoot a few prayers up for Al and his family. Gina, we love y'all.
No doubt, man. I love y'all, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. How was your weekend?
Oh man, weekend went well. I just chill, kids, shot a little basketball with them,
Okay,
hung out with them. That's it.
cool.
And yours?
It was good, man. Shit. Can't remember what I did. um,
Right.
I didn't do much. Really just regular Saturday stuff and got ready for Monday. That kid and rolled in the spring ball now, so
Okay. That's what's up.
I'm picking him up all week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. How's your son? Is he getting he ready? Getting ready?
Yeah. He getting ready, lifting, running,
Okay.
practice snapping. He getting amped. We got to take him down to Wofford and let him pick out his housing this month.
Okay.
And he's just getting geared up for graduation now.
You getting old, man.
Man, I know, man. I'm got to dye my beard, man. It's
Right.
beard out of pocket right now.
Hey, me too. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm,
Yeah, man. Well, we're coming off a big week, man. Um, First off, how do you feel about the Bears draft
I
overall?
feel I feel I feel great. I
Okay.
feel way better than I did initially. Once I completed some more research,
Okay.
did some more digging. I feel great about it.
Yeah, I said when y'all drafted Colson Loveland instead of Tyler Warren, if it reminded me of last year, because I did so much dogging and trash talking about, um, our linebacker
The linebacker, I thought the line. Okay.
from NC State. Damn, forget his name, of course. And we end up drafting him. So,
Hmm.
but he made me eat my words.
Okay.
So hopefully, Loveland does the same for you.
Right.
Yeah, man. So what was, as far as the Bears go,
Hmm.
what was your favorite pick and your least favorite pick?
I'm gonna go with least favorite right now. And it's just I be honest with you, I don't have one. Initially,
Mm,
during the draft, it was definitely Loveland.
yeah.
It was definitely him because of course the way the board fell. I said Tyler Warren is there. Um,
Mm,
the Edge Williams is there. Nolan is there. Um, I really didn't want to jump out there on Amari and Hampton that high,
yeah.
but I mean, he probably would have been a solid pick there. But it's but after I did research, I just went, me, I texted, I went to bed.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even finish the draft. I was so upset because I just saw all the like the conversation we had before, the high point and that Tyler Warren was doing and just making catch in traffic and things like that. So and I was like, yo, he's really, a contested catch guy. Like he fights for the ball.
Mm,
So that was my reading on him. But after going doing more research on Loveland and digging and whatever, his MO was there's never anyone around him to high point and take the ball away from him because he's routing them up.
get rid of him out.
but like I said, his hips are fluid, whatever. But there was like one guy not staying with him, coverage
Right.
in and out. He's getting out of it. So after that, it grew on me, and then I was listening to the grade that said he was the highest rated tight end in the last 20 years,
Mm.
to second to only Brock Bowers.
And that's
So
good company.
that's great. Exactly. They was like Brock Bowers rating was like a 97, 98, and his is, a point below. So
Wow.
I was like, oh, okay. All right. Well, now we're talking. But my favorite pick is Luther Burton third,
Yeah.
and like you and I really had him projected in the first round. I mean, he's
Mm-hmm.
that talented.
Right.
And for us to get him in the second, I absolutely love it.
Yeah, that's great value, man. Especially, they won't have to come in and be the number one guy and play at the slot, and they find ways to get him in space. So great pick, man. Yeah, well, I'm glad you got over your love and hate. And you didn't have to burn another Bears jersey.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
yeah, man, you got to be running out.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, I was yelling and hollering and kicking and stomping, and my baby boy Erickson came on and said, "Dad, you didn't like that pick?" And I was like, "I hate that pick, son."
I guess not.
But yeah, he was like, "You didn't like that
Oh
pick?
man,
You didn't want that guy?" It's like,
right.
I hated that guy. But it's growing on me, definitely. Of course, I hate we didn't get one of those early backs, but I looked at the kid that we drafted. And I'm liking him. However, the draft fell for us plenty.
All right,
We tried to move up to get Henderson in the
all right,
second round, but we couldn't get anybody to play ball with us.
yeah,
So, we got Luther Burton the third. That's a great, consolation to me.
yeah,
If it's a consolation,
yeah.
so and I guess we didn't want to, because we immediately traded back because Junkins and him went, simultaneously,
Right,
almost back to back to each
right,
other. So at that point, boom, we got out of there, traded back, acquired another pick. Then we took a old lineman and Shamar Turner.
yeah. I
So
like Turner.
me too. I'm totally
Yeah,
giddy, on the picks. It's a few vets out there. Um, I think we'll be fine at back. I just hear people bashing us, and I don't, I don't get it, because these are so-called experts, and they get
mm,
paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to do this, and you and I do it for love. However, we know that if the board falls differently or don't fall the way you expect it to fall, you've got to draft what's on the board. That's just how
right.
it goes.
Because if you don't, then they bash you for drafting for need and not value.
Right,
So
right.
that's why we watch the draft because you don't know what's gonna happen.
Don't know what's gonna happen, right?
So yeah, man. Steelers draft, I loved it, man.
Mm,
It's getting back to physicality. Taking Harmon in the first round, a big back in the third. DK Metcalf was essentially our second round pick. So you're not gonna find a better receiver in round two than DK.
right.
But Caleb Johnson in the third was amazing value. He's my favorite back in the draft.
Hmm.
Maybe I ain't saying he's the best in the draft,
Right,
but
I got you.
probably my favorite.
Hmm.
He'll give. I love Najee Harris, but in today's NFL, you got to be able to generate explosive plays
Correct.
and get some chunks. So he'll give us that. So he's probably my favorite pick. My least favorite, Not that I didn't like the pick, but Jack Sawyer in the fourth.
I like
Um,
Jack. I was
huh?
hoping we got Jack. I like Jack.
I like Jack,
Okay.
but how much is he gonna play?
Mm.
Behind
Uh,
T.J. Watt, Nick Herbig, Alex Highsmith. I mean, perhaps he'll be able to, take some snaps away and
mm-hmm.
keep them healthy. But to have Alec Manor available, the big receiver from Stanford,
Mm.
he
I
was on
got
the
you.
board.
Yeah.
Depending on what happens with George Pickens,
Right.
you may need him soon. A guy
Right.
like that. So, although I like Sawyer, it may be a thing we don't see him play extensively for 2 years
It's true.
because, of course, Watt, Highsmith, Herbig, they're all in the Steelers' plans for at least the
Mm.
next 2, 3 years.
Right.
So,
Right.
you know, I hope it's in that case. So, it really reminds me of Mike Vrabel when we
Okay.
drafted Vrabel when we had other guys ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time he was good, we had to let him go to
Have
he
to let him
signed with the
go.
Patriots, and he
Right.
became a three-time Super Bowl winner. So,
Right. Right. Right.
but yeah, I like Sawyer as a player. Also Marcus Imbo was on the board, the big guard from Purdue.
Okay.
Um, so he's a guy that could have stepped in next year when Isaac Suamalo is a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
So just guys I thought would fit better. But
Mm-hmm.
again, you draft for best player available.
Best player available. Mm-hmm.
So you know, and
Mm-hmm.
Jack Sawyer was by all accounts a second round grade.
Yeah, I love him, man. I was hoping he lasted to us. He would have. I wanted him. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie to you. Yeah, I
yeah, I
wanted. I
like
wanted
it.
Sawyer.
So to get him in the fourth was really good. And of course, to get Will Howard in the sixth. I like Will Howard. If we,
Like Will. Okay.
yeah, I think the Steelers felt the same way after, and we'll get into this later, of course. But after Cam Ward, I don't think there was a sure shot guy at quarterback,
Mm,
considering what we are starting to know about Shador,
mm,
and how his interviews and meetings may have gone.
mm,
Um, and so I think the Steelers went into this draft thinking we're not going to get our franchise guy in this draft at all. So why not build the team around the guy we get next year? So to take a guy like Howard in the sixth round, who's had a third, fourth round projection, is great value. And if he turns out to be your backup for 10 years, shit, sixth round, that's a good pick.
yeah.
So I'll take it. Um, but yeah. So overall, the entire draft
Mm.
was your favorite pick in the end by any team.
Any team other other than like I say, Luther Burton the third.
Hmm.
I really like. I really like Green. When the Ravens took, I
Mm,
think Green and what did they get him in the third or the back end of the second?
yeah,
Back
back
end
in
because
the
we had a
second.
chance to
Yeah.
get him. I was crushed about that, but I think that was a great pick by them. And believe it or not, um, I'm just thinking. I think that was really aggressive by the Jaguars, but
Mm,
that was really aggressive.
all
I
right.
don't think Cleveland. I get Cleveland building for the future,
Yeah.
but it's hard to let that guy go.
Yeah.
It's really hard to let that guy go. My favorite pick, I definitely probably gonna say, mm, I'm gonna go with the green. But you know what? The first round pick, I'm going to stick with. I like the Panthers going with the kid from Zona. Even though
Oh, Ted McMillan. Yeah.
McMillan, even
Yeah.
though I like him, to be honest with you, I had Luther Burden. I had him the second rated receiver, man. To me,
Mm,
to Travis Hunter.
yeah.
But you know what? Forget about it. The Bears picked Luther Burton third, man.
Right.
that's, that's my favorite pick. My favorite draft pick, man.
No doubt. Yeah, my favorite, man, outside of our draft, um, I like Omarion Hampton to the Chargers.
I like it too. I
I
like it.
know they just signed Najee, but again, he gives you something Najee don't give you.
Hmm.
And you got two 230-pound backs on the Jim Harbaugh coach team. Like, what more can you ask for?
Yeah, they're gonna lean
Um,
on you. They
right.
definitely gonna lean on you. Yeah,
And I know Najee's probably pissed off.
yeah.
He's on a 1 year deal, um, pretty much. And at first we thought it was 1 year's 5.4 mil, but now we know that his deal is 1 mil with $4 million worth of incentives,
Oh wow.
mostly based on rushing yards.
Mm-hmm.
So if he got split time with Hampton, he ain't gonna hit
Mm-hmm.
them incentives.
He's not.
So I know he's pissed off, but
Yeah, he's not gonna hit him.
um, I like the pick for that team.
He's not gonna hit him because they're gonna
Nah,
get Hampton his touches, and then
right,
he's gonna be Hampton gonna be on third down a lot too because
yeah,
he's got really good hands.
right, and he's their guy.
He's that guy, right?
So yeah, who was your least favorite pick?
Mm. Least favorite pick. I really I get the pick, but there's two picks I really, and I know it was the best player on the board with New York and Carter. And I know you want to have really, really good pass rushers, but right now at this point, I think they putting, I don't know, $80 million in pass rushers, or they're putting a lot in pass rush.
And that
With
don't even include Dexter Lawrence.
yeah,
Yeah, and he got the best interior D lineman in the league.
in the league, yeah. So I just thought they could have did more to. I mean, I know their line is okay, offensive line, but I know they need help. Um, gosh knows they need more. They need more weapons. They need more
Yeah,
weapons. So I mean, teams would have given their right lungs to get up there at 3 to draft Carter.
yeah,
So I know they got calls.
had to. Yeah,
So I just thought they could have did more I mean, they could have probably traded back to 5 or whatever and took Genty, or I mean something, just and got another first round pick for next year and all this crap. But
mm,
I just thought they could have. I like him. I like Carter. Don't get me wrong, but I just think they could have. I think they could have did more to help their team. The
yeah,
same way with the New York Jets. I
mm,
thought they could have got another offensive weapon to, out there, receiver or Tyler Warren or Colston Love, either one
mm,
to get another weapon out there because right now, they're looking at Garrett and in a bunch of guys,
yeah.
so I think that
Alan Lazard.
yeah, Alan Lazard, yeah, they got two really good backs.
Yeah,
They really do. And I heard that we could be in talks with them about what the kid name. Brees.
Brees Hall? Yeah.
Yeah, I heard something about Brees and then
Okay.
something about Kenneth Walker the third. But who
Mm,
knows? That's all
yeah.
talk.
Yeah.
But I just think those two teams, yeah, they really drafted really, really good players, O line
Mm,
and D line. But I just thought they could have done more to help their team.
okay. Yeah. I got two least favorite picks, and they were back to back. Um,
Mm,
the Giants traded him up to get Jackson Dart.
mm,
Um, I just, if they were there at 20, what are they, 25?
mm.
Okay, if that's your guy. But to trade back into the first and spend that capital to get Jackson Dart, come on, man. Um,
Yeah, man.
I don't like Daniel Jones. The dirt ain't even hard in his grave yet. You draft him again?
Draft him again. Draft him again.
Right. So I didn't like the pick.
Yeah,
Even
I
more,
agree with that.
yeah, and even more so, not that the Falcons traded up to get James Pierce, but the fact that they gave up next year's first rounder to do it.
Oh wow.
Right. So you trade back into the first. Okay. You get James Pierce. I like him. But
I
it's a
like it, bro.
lot to give up for him.
That's a lot to give up.
Yeah. And
That
now,
that you know, I only give that up for probably I probably would give that up for Carter, but other than that, like,
yeah, if I'm trading way up into the first,
yeah, but I'm not doing that, bro.
right.
Not doing
Like, I mean, Pierce, if he's there, Mike Green's going to be
it.
there.
Mike Green gonna be there.
And I know
Mike Green gonna be
Green,
there.
yeah, and I know
Mm-hmm.
Green's got some legal stuff going on,
Mm-hmm.
or did. But that's a lot to give up for Pierce, man. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
about that. So those are my two least favorites in the first round,
Okay.
um, and they stood out. Um, yeah, I mean, hopefully Pierce and they just paid. I think it was Lorenzo Carter to return in free agency. I think 10 mil a year.
Okay.
So I mean, hey, I know you can never have enough pass rushers,
Yeah. Yeah.
but you know, to get you know him to get Pierce at 26, especially after you took Jalen Walker earlier in the first, and you ain't got enough balls to go around the rest of the passer.
Mm.
So
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I missed that. I went to bed.
yeah,
So what? So
they got Jalen Walker at 15, and they traded back into the first to get Pierce.
so they wanted to get their bookends and be done in this
I
draft
I
here.
guess I don't know, but
Mm.
I guess they was like, hey, we got our quarterback.
Yeah.
Let's go
Yeah.
mount
Let's
up.
go rush the passer, right?
Right. So um, there's a few in the like Josh Connolly for Washington at 29 was a bit confusing. They
Mm.
just traded for Larry Tunsil,
Right.
so it was kind of confusing. Unless they're going to move in the guard, but
Mm.
that's solid on the line.
They're solid. So you think they should have went best player available?
Yeah, I mean you got Max Harrison still there. They need
Yeah.
corners.
Corners. Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
they
The
need
kid from
pass rush.
Carolina, the safety.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sharon.
need
Yeah,
pass rushers. Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
it's just a bit confusing. But hey, maybe they like him. I don't know.
Mm.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So we touched on this. So Of course, the story of the draft was Shador Sanders. Um, Projected at one point as the number one overall pick. Then you start to see a slide in recent weeks. So people say, hey, there's no way he's getting past Pittsburgh at 21. 2 days later, he's still there in the fifth round. I'm sure everybody knows the story by now, but what are your thoughts on the Shador and his slide?
Um, man, I be honest with you, I don't like it.
Mm,
But I know it's a lot of theories going out there, conspiracy theories.
right,
And I know, yeah, people, you have a right to your own draft board.
yeah,
You have a right to evaluate your own talent. It's your franchise.
mm,
But to be honest with you, I didn't see this. I didn't see this coming. Me myself, I still rated him the number one quarterback in the draft, a la Mel Kiper. And
yeah.
both of us got just as much credentials as who?
Man, your next door neighbor. Who is what?
Still mailman. But both of us had
Yeah.
Shador number, as the best quarterback. But
Mm,
him falling out of there, to me, I just thought that it definitely seemed sticky.
yeah.
It seems sticky because I've seen quarterbacks that didn't have the resume he had, and quote unquote as good as arm as he had, or he has just as good as of arm as them. To go 4, 5, 6 over second overall and trade away next year's pick for, like, I've seen that and those teams, and I didn't see those players play in pressure and all this notoriety that clamors around Shador and stand in the pocket, getting hit in the mouth, game after game. I just thought that it was something that the teams didn't want to touch. And maybe they didn't want their quarterback doing things on social media, and they didn't want the circus and but I just thought that if you're judging his talent, to say these other guys, I just don't see, if they saying Cam, they're projecting Cam for this, okay. But to see, those other 5 or 6 guys go before him, it it was just real sticky for me. Like I said,
Yeah.
I thought he was the best quarterback in the draft, as in ready to play, react. Yeah, he holds on to the ball. I mean, who wouldn't hold on to the ball with guys draped all over and
Right.
the line collapsing on you, just trying to get away from the rush. And
Yeah.
but that I just got my opinion on it. I thought it sucked.
Yeah. So of course Cam went number one.
Right.
Then we saw Jackson Dart come off the board, and I was like, okay, maybe that's just your preference. I get it.
Maybe your preference. Maybe that's your preference.
Then we saw Tyler Shook come off the board. I was like, okay, I like Shook, but maybe that's your preference. You know, he's got all the tools. Then we saw Jalen Milrow. I get that.
Yeah, I mean,
The
just
upside is
upside,
there. Yeah.
upside. Yeah, 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 yeah.
But then we saw Dylan freaking Gabriel come
Dylan
off the
Gabriel.
board in the third round. And it made me really think something is nefarious is going on.
Hmm.
Now, granted, there's a lot that comes with Shador.
Yeah, 100%.
And at this point, we don't know what's fabrication or what's real.
Correct.
But we do know some of his interviews and meetings didn't go so well.
Right.
The details, who knows? But for Cleveland to come back and take him after they draft Gabriel,
So what? Damn.
and now people saying that the owner had to step in and say, "Hey, draft Shador."
Hmm.
Like,
I didn't hear that story.
yeah, which is why they said the response in the war room was just
Oh,
loud.
I noticed that. That was
Right.
terrible.
Yeah. Um,
The the GM, man, that was
yeah.
crazy.
But it's no way that Gabriel over
No.
Shador.
Mm-mm.
And so, and to have my team as the Steelers need a quarterback.
Mm.
I get it. Round one,
Yeah.
it's pretty much,
Yeah.
it's pretty common knowledge in Pittsburgh that they didn't like this draft class
Mm-hmm.
at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that they like Derek Harmon. But round two, you didn't have a second round pick. Round three,
Round three,
Caleb
right?
Johnson's there.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
get
yeah.
it.
Yeah, yeah, I get it. I get it. I get it.
So round four, I was really like, okay, 'cause I wouldn't get my hopes up for Shador because I saw a reason. That's the team I follow, so I get that they weren't high on the quarterback class. But fourth round, we took Jack Sawyer
I couldn't believe that. I just knew
again.
Shador was coming off the board.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
At that point, I was like, okay, here it is. And again, I like Sawyer, but not even to take a chance
Mm-hmm.
when you're waiting on Aaron Rodgers
Mm.
as your hope for the year.
Right.
It was so. But one thing I did know, I do know, is when Mike Tomlin talks openly about a prospect before the draft, they're not going to
Not gonna
draft
take
him.
him. Right.
He talked at will about Shador. They brought him in for a visit, and this was after we started hearing stuff about him sliding. They brought him in for a visit. Mike Tomlin spoke openly at length about Shador. At that point, I said, they ain't taking him.
Mm.
Until the fourth round, I was like, okay, at some point, you could take a chance.
Mhm.
What bothers me most, I've seen a guy grab his nuts on the sideline in college, plant his team flag in the opposing team's field, get arrested, run from the cops at 5'10". He's barely 6 feet, maybe, and get taken number one overall.
Mm.
Baker Mayfield,
Oh, I already know who you're talking about.
right? I
Mm-hmm.
seen the guy win the Heisman and get openly drunk, probably 5 nights a week
Mm-hmm.
at 5'10".
Mm-hmm.
Taunt every team he played against
Mm-hmm.
openly.
Mm-hmm.
And he was drafted in the first round
Mm-hmm.
by those same Cleveland Browns,
About
both
the
of them.
same Cleveland Browns, yeah.
So you mean to tell me that Shador or his father are that much of a problem? Where the Cleveland Browns, who've had 40 freaking quarterbacks since 1999, ain't willing to take a chance on Shador until the fifth round. Nobody's willing, and that's just Cleveland. That ain't all the other bull like BS we've seen from quarterbacks on other
Mm-hmm.
teams that drafted. So something was going on. I don't know if I ain't gonna go as far as to say it was all the teams working together and say it was
Mm-hmm.
collusion, but they talk. Those GMs and coaches talk, and we all know that the playing field is not equal.
Correct.
So I remember a reporter asked Malcolm, I think it was Malcolm. I can't remember who it was, but he asked him why are black people so dominant in sports when it comes to sports? And he was expecting him to say, "Oh, it's genetics, and we're just we're bred differently." And but the response was, "You play basketball, the goal is always 10 feet. The court is always 90 feet long. There's always 5 players on each team. Don't matter where you go, it's going to be the same rules,
Mm.
applied the same way to everybody.
Mm.
When you give us equal opportunity, we're
Mm.
going to
Mm.
dominate."
Mm.
Same thing here. I just don't, whether you can say it's racist or it's not. You can say something was going on nefarious or wasn't. What we do know is certain people have a problem with Deion Sanders. How he carries himself, how he wins, and they can't touch him. So who are they gonna go after? Now that's not saying Shador don't have his own flaws,
Right.
because there's no player ever drafted that's perfect.
Correct.
But he ain't been in no legal trouble. His film speaks for itself. There's nobody in that Colorado or Jackson State locker room who ever spoke badly of him. He loves his parents. He gives back to the community.
Yeah.
As unless he went into every meeting with every team, guns blazing, headphones on, hat turned backwards, and says, "I ain't playing for you. I don't want to play here." Like, it just speaks to the length that people will go to not admit the truth.
Mm.
That whether you thought he was a first round quarterback or not, he damn sure ain't a fifth round quarterback.
Correct.
So all that being said, he's a Brown now. Fuck him.
Either Brown. You're right.
I
You're
can't
right.
like it.
I feel you.
I can root for him,
Mm-hmm.
except for two Sundays a year.
I feel you.
But I'm praying that he succeeds.
So am I, bro. So
But
am I.
he went to the worst situation
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
um, so we'll see. But
And he's a good kid, man. He's a good
yeah,
kid.
he's already in Cleveland, going to schools
Going to schools, yeah.
and working out every day and
Mm-hmm.
giving back to the kids. Like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
maybe Dylan Gabriel is doing the same. I don't know.
Mm.
And I was joking with Keon. you know, what, Cleveland had 5 quarterbacks in there.
Yeah.
Him, Gabriel, Flacco, Watson, and
Your guy, Pickett.
Pickett. Now,
Hmm.
see, I won't forget about him. Um, the saying goes, if you got two quarterbacks, you ain't got one.
Right.
I don't know what the hell they say about five.
About five.
If you got five, you ain't got a shot, maybe. And the bad thing is, he may be the best one there
I agree.
right now.
I agree.
So
I agree.
I'm hoping he lights it up.
I agree.
So
I definitely agree.
yeah, yeah, man. Any more thoughts on the draft before we get to our question of the week?
I don't have any.
Okay.
I don't.
So, and this is just for you. I'm gonna get my answer now.
Hmm.
I was watching a clip of Chris Brown dancing,
Hmm.
and dude did like a what's 180? What's 360 times three? Whatever that is.
Whatever that is.
It a triple spin, just out the
Hmm.
blue, in the middle of a routine. Then I remember thinking, that's impressive. And I thought back to what's that movie he was in with T.I.?
Ti.
Like a
And they
baby
were
boy.
robbing banks.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember
The scene where he's running from the cops and he's jumping over cars and
it. Hmm.
downstairs. Like, I thought that dude was an athlete.
Yeah.
And so it made me think, who's the best non athlete, athletic athlete that you know? I would say Chris Brown just because of
Okay.
recency bias, but that
Okay.
was impressive to me.
Okay. I got a few I could throw out, man, but I want to say one Tom Cruise.
Mm,
I want to say Tom Cruise. I want to say Jackie Chan.
okay, good ones.
You know, I want to say not Columbus Short, the kid that played Antoine Fisher.
Oh, play Diddy.
He played, yeah, he did play Diddy. What's the kid name?
uh, yeah,
Everybody, whoever watching know who we talking
yeah,
about.
yeah,
He played Booby Miles,
yeah.
in Friday Night Lights.
Decade athlete? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay,
He's an athlete.
okay.
Of course, it seems like these guys keep popping in my head, but is it John Wayne or is it Ronald Reagan? Which one of them boys was a hell of a running back?
Ronald Reagan.
It was
Yeah,
Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan. Yeah.
Ronald Reagan. We got was it didn't Denzel play running back in college or something like that? Or it's
I
not
don't know.
Denzel?
I know his son did.
Yeah, his son played back. Oh man, I can't think of.
Shit, his son played in the league for a second.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, what's in John David? Played for the
Hmm.
Rams for like a year.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. I got signed out of Morehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well, I got to go with John David one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah, got to go with John David. Uh I can't think of anyone else right off. Oh, Morris Chestnut.
Yeah.
Morris Chestnut. Uh, one of those guys, one of those actors was like a all-state safety. Oh
Oh, really?
man. Yeah, yeah, I
Oh,
can
yeah.
remember.
Dude from Training Day with Denzel, the white dude. What's his name?
White dude, Hawk. Um,
Ethan
is that
Hawke.
Ethan Hawk?
Yeah, I think
Ethan
he
Hawk?
was.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of anybody else right offhand, but it's some, like you said, those guys running and doing their own stunts and jumping and
Yeah.
flipping. It, definitely some athletes out there.
Yeah.
Definitely. But like I said, I guess I'm gonna go with Tom Cruise, man.
All right. And another one I just thought about, Prince. Prince
Prince.
was a hooper. Like Prince could hoop. So I heard.
Mhm.
And not just from Dave Chappelle show, but yeah, Prince could really hoop.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it sounds funny.
yeah.
It sounds funny.
It
Yeah.
does. But yeah. Yeah, just something I wanted to throw out there because, with everybody's multidimensional. So,
Right. Right. And that put me in the mode of, remember MTV used to do the Rock and Jock,
yeah,
and those like
right.
celebrities used to be out there
Yeah,
going, y'all. I can't think of anyone at this point, but
yeah.
oh, what's the basketball player? That is Chris Brown. Chris Brown was out there hooping
Yeah,
in the
Chris.
celebrity.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Oh, Quavo.
Oh, Quavo.
Quavo
Yeah.
was all state
Quavo
down
in
there
the.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
in
was.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he was all state.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Quavo
yeah,
was good.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No doubt. So, another question just popped in my head. It won't be too hard. But you mentioned Rock and Jock. It
Mhm.
made me think back to old shows that I wish to come back. So NFL's fastest man,
Okay.
who would win it today?
Today, some fast cats out there, man. But
Yeah,
I know people breaking this time and doing this, but I'm not going against Cheetah, man.
yeah,
I know the kid that the Chiefs drafted last year broke the record or whatever, but I'm not going against Cheetah.
yeah. And they ran 100 in the fastest man, not a 40.
Right,
So
right,
it's
right.
different training for the 40 and running 100.
And 100 for
Right.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
don't think I can go against Cheetah. I mean, Worthy is fast.
Worthy's fast. Worthy is fast.
A Chain, maybe? A
A Chain is fast.
Chain. Yeah.
A Chain fast. Now. I forgot about that
Yeah.
rascal.
Raheem Mostert fast.
Most are fast.
And they
Yeah,
all on the Dolphins. Shit.
most are
Um,
fast. Most of was somebody else now.
yeah,
Is
he
it the
is.
Raiders?
Think so.
I
Yeah.
want to say the Raiders.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. But it's hard to go against Cheetah, man.
It's hard. It's hard to go against them now. But I've totally forgot about A Chain. A Chain got wheels.
Yeah, you do.
A Chain got wheels.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, A Chain got wheels. Yeah, A Chain got
Or
wheels.
do with the Eagles, the receiver. Not not AJ Brown, the other one from Alabama.
Oh, Devontae,
Yeah.
Devontae
Devontae.
fast.
And
Yeah.
what's the name for the Lions? Jameson.
Oh, Jameson got wheels.
Yeah.
I would love
Yeah.
to see Jamar Chase out there.
Chase. Yeah.
Chase get away from people.
Jameer Gibbs.
Jameer Gibbs get away from people. Yeah.
Trying to think of some corners. But I know some fast corners.
I can't think of nobody. I mean, I know Singly, really fast, but
Yeah.
he might be the fastest corner, I think.
One of, yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
know at one point, um, dude for the Packers was fast, but I don't think he's as fast as he used to be.
Jair?
Jair, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. We just drafted a corner 6'3", ran a 4.36.
From Iowa State, I think that's Porter,
Some state he from.
Darian Porter. Is that
I can't
director?
remember his name.
Yeah, I like that kid. Lincoln,
But
yeah,
yeah,
it was him.
six
Because
three,
the
six
Lincoln
three.
was
Yeah.
mad at George after him. He won it.
Oh, oh, for real?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, but yeah, man, that's what it is. Anything before you go, man?
I ain't got none. Let me see. Tuesday. Oh, we'll be on before Mother's Day, so I'll wait to
Yeah,
send my shout out for Mother's Day the next week.
no doubt. All
Oh,
right.
we got the prom. My young fella got the prom this week, so
Okay.
got his license. He geared up for the prom. He fitted, suited and booted, ready to go, man.
Got a date?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Some two introverts, man, they just sit there beside each other, man. It's
Hey,
hilarious, you know.
hey, I know how I feel. I'm one
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So am I.
yeah. But let them, they'll be sitting next to each other, texting each other.
We text each other. That's
Right.
crazy.
That,
We introverts, but we never with an introvert though.
right.
You know,
Never.
can't. Right. Somebody got
Right.
to carry the conversation.
Somebody got to.
Right.
And talk to other folks that don't feel like it.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
man. Well, good, man. Happy for that kid.
Appreciate you.
No doubt. Yeah, man. Shout out to Lincoln. He'll be going to his first showcase camp this weekend.
Okay. That's what's up.
So we'll see what it look like. I told him don't waste my money.
I know that's right. Where's the
And
camp?
in right on the other side of Greensboro,
Okay.
in the Reedsville.
Okay.
So
Okay.
like me, you always talk about. I told him first rule: get in the front of the line.
Get in front of the line.
Don't be waiting on other folks to get up there. So
Can't do it, man. They ain't
yeah,
gonna give you no shot.
right.
Hmm.
So I'll hit him across the head with it again, but
Yeah.
get in the front of the line.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So shout out to him. He's excited. So
No
we'll see.
doubt. No doubt. Let's go, Link. Let's go. Yeah.
And shout out to my oldest, Ladanian, is in Puerto Rico right now
Okay.
for his graduation trip.
Oh, that's what's up.
He went before he graduated.
Yeah, right. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but it's on his dime. He paid for it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey,
Yeah. Enjoy, LaDainian. That's what's up.
yeah, man. I was like, the hay's in the barn now. You can go worry about absences. So go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, man. So, but that's what it is, man. Again, shout out to Al. We'll talk to you soon, man. We love you.
No doubt. Love you, bro. Love you, Gina.
Yeah, man. And we'll talk to y'all next week. Until then, Defy Life.
Defy life.
Peace.
Peace.